The Chicago Bears have now completed 8 practices of their training camp, and the first stretch has given fans and coaches plenty to talk about. The biggest storyline so far is the steady progress of rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. When camp began, Williams looked like a rookie still adjusting to the speed and complexity of NFL defenses. His first couple of practices were choppy, and even during the third session, his performance wasn't sharp for most of the day. However, by the end of that third practice, there were encouraging signs. Since then, Williams has gradually found his rhythm, making better decisions, throwing with more confidence, and developing a stronger understanding of the offense. This growth is exactly what the Bears wanted to see. Williams has shown an improved connection with his receivers, a better sense of timing, and more composure in the pocket. While he isn't dominating every single day, the balance of good plays versus mistakes has tilted in his favor. With more than a month remaining until the season opener, there is still plenty of room for growth, but the progress he has made from practice 1 to practice 8 is a positive sign for the franchise. The Bears invested heavily in giving him talented playmakers, and the early results suggest that he is becoming more comfortable operating in this new system. One of the biggest beneficiaries of Williams' improvement has been tight end Colston Loveland. After missing off-season programs due to shoulder surgery, Loveland entered training camp with something to prove. Since returning to full participation, he has been a consistent playmaker. His ability to high-point the football, run smooth routes, and secure tough catches has impressed both teammates and coaches. Williams himself has spoken about the trust he already has in Loveland, praising his large catch radius and ability to make plays even when covered. At 6'6", Loveland offers a dynamic target who can stretch the middle of the field and provide a reliable outlet during scramble situations. His emergence could give the Bears a significant boost in the passing attack this season. On the defensive side, nahshon Wright has quietly become one of the surprise standouts of camp. Wright, a former third-round pick, had bounced around the league without making a major impact. However, the Bears coaching staff clearly believes in his potential, and Wright has seized his opportunity. With Jalen Johnson missing time, Wright has practiced frequently with the first-team defense and has caught the attention of coaches. His size and press man skills fit well with Chicago's defensive philosophy. The fact that coaches are mentioning him by name when discussing the battle for the CB2 role indicates just how much progress he has made. If he maintains this level of play during joint practices and preseason games, Wright could not only secure a roster spot, but potentially earn a starting job. Not everything has been positive, though. Offensive lineman Jonah Jackson has seen his stock dip slightly due to injury concerns. Jackson is dealing with a leg issue that has him listed as day-to-day. While it isn't considered serious, Jackson has a history of missing time, and continuity on the offensive line is crucial. When healthy, he is expected to be a solid guard, but missing early camp reps isn't ideal as the Bears continue to build chemistry up front. Perhaps the most intriguing position battle so far has been at left tackle. Rookie Ozzy Trapilo has quickly become a favorite to win the starting job. During most padded practices, Trapilo has been the first player to take reps with the starting unit, which strongly suggests that the coaching staff views him as the early frontrunner. His size and technical ability have made him a reliable pass protector, which is a top priority for the Bears. Trapilo's consistency in drills has been a key factor in why he has earned so many first-team opportunities. On the other side of the battle is Braxton Jones, a player who has been the starter in the past, but is still working his way back to full strength following an injury. Jones has been able to participate in camp, which is a good sign, but he has acknowledged that he is currently playing at around 300 pounds and prefers to be closer to 305 or 310. That extra strength could make a big difference, especially considering that one of his biggest weaknesses has been anchoring against powerful pass rushers. The Bears' offensive coordinator has emphasized the importance of being able to pass block effectively in one-on-one situations, which is something Trapilo has shown he can handle. While Jones still has time to close the gap, the early signs point toward the rookie having the advantage. The tight end room has also been a topic of discussion. Kmet, despite being a proven veteran, hasn't made as many noticeable plays in camp. It's not necessarily a cause for concern, as Kmet has already established himself as a dependable starter. However, with Loveland making a strong impression, the dynamic of the tight end position could shift as the season progresses. The Bears' offensive scheme is known for utilizing tight ends effectively, so both players could end up being important weapons, but Loveland's rapid development could give him a larger role sooner than expected. At wide receiver, Luther Burden III has emerged as another young playmaker to watch. Burden's camp started slowly due to him missing the first few practices. Initially, he appeared behind in understanding the offense, even being removed from a drill during his first practice for lining up incorrectly. However, in the last couple of sessions, Burden has been outstanding, with one practice performance described as dominant by those in attendance. His explosiveness and play speed are exactly what the Bears envisioned when they drafted him. Once Burden fully grasps the playbook, he could become a major factor in the offense. Before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Not every offensive player is trending upward. Tyler Scott, for example, has struggled to make his presence felt. Unlike Kmet, who has an established role, Scott's spot on the roster is far less secure. With other depth receivers like J.P. Richardson, Miles Boykin, and Olamide Zakos making more consistent plays, Scott is at risk of being left out of the final 53-man roster. Training camp is all about seizing opportunities, and so far, Scott hasn't done enough to separate himself from the competition. While the Bears' defense has several bright spots, the injury to rookie defensive tackle Shemar Turner is a setback. Turner, a second-round pick, is expected to miss most of training camp and the preseason with an ankle injury. For a player transitioning from college to the NFL, these missed reps are extremely valuable, especially for someone who needs time to refine his technique against NFL-caliber offensive linemen. Turner still has plenty of long-term potential, but expectations for his rookie season should be tempered. Fortunately, the Bears have decent depth along the interior defensive line, with players like Andrew Billings, Gervin Dexter, and Grady Jarrett ahead of him on the depth chart. This lessens the immediate impact of his absence, but is still disappointing for his development. The cornerback competition is shaping up to be one of the most closely watched battles of camp. With Wright stepping up, Tariq Stevenson and Terrell Smith are also fighting for roles. Joint practices and preseason games will provide the coaching staff with more meaningful evaluations. The Bears are building a secondary that relies on physical, press-man coverage, and having multiple viable options at cornerback is crucial for long-term success. Another major storyline remains the battle at left tackle. If the Bears played a regular season game today, all signs suggest Trapilo would be the starter. However, there is still time for Jones to regain his strength and push for the role. The decision will likely come down to preseason performances, where both players will get chances to prove themselves against opposing defenses. Overall, training camp so far has provided an encouraging glimpse into the Bears' future. The growth of Williams, the emergence of Loveland and Burden, and the surprise performances of players like Wright have given fans plenty of reasons to be optimistic. The upcoming joint practices and preseason games will be crucial in determining final roster spots and solidifying the starting lineup. The early stages of training camp have highlighted just how much potential this young Bears team has. The steady improvement of Caleb Williams is the most encouraging sign, as he continues to build chemistry with his offensive weapons and gain confidence in the system. The rise of Colston, Loveland, and Luther Burden III gives Chicago two exciting pass-catching options who could become key pieces of the offense. Meanwhile, nahshon Wright's strong play has added competition to the cornerback group, which is exactly what the team needs. There are still challenges ahead. Injuries to players like Jonah Jackson and Shemar Turner have created some uncertainty, and roster battles at positions such as left tackle and wide receiver remain unresolved. However, these competitions are healthy for the team, pushing players to perform at their best. As the preseason approaches, fans will get their first chance to see these developments play out in live game situations. These next few weeks will go a long way in determining which players will have the biggest impact when the regular season begins. For now, the Bears appear to be moving in the right direction, with young talent stepping up and position battles fueling competition across the roster. If this progress continues, the Chicago Bears could enter the 2025 season looking more competitive and well-rounded than they have in years.